A 5-year-old is dead after an accident in Callaway County. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Reed.
And I'm Colby Satterfield. It happened earlier this evening on Blue Ridge Road, 7 miles east of Avaz. Authorities aren't telling us much at this point, but we do know it was private property. They also say there was no indication of drugs or alcohol involved. We're working to find out more information and we'll bring it to you as soon as it becomes available. MU Healthcare is ending refer and follow privileges for a doctor who performs abortion services in Columbia. The doctor will no longer be able to use university hospital resources to perform abortions. This comes months after Republican legislators began investigating Planned Parenthood. Members of the group 40 Days for Life were protesting in front of the Columbia Planned Parenthood clinic today. Group members say this is a victory for their organization, but no, not everyone feels that way.
A lot of people don't have all the facts. The university has put out that this refer and follow, was really insignificant, but it is what brought the abortionist here.
In response to the decision, Boone County Democratic Party Chairman Homer Page says, quote, "The Democratic Party is very concerned that the radical Republican legislator has bullied the university into taking this position."
Crime Stoppers is offering a $2,000 reward for information leading to an arrest in last weekend's double homicide. James Richardson and Kenneth Long were found shot to death near Mexico Gravel Road. Anyone with information should call Crime Stoppers at 875-TIPS. Two people from Sedalia are behind bars after police searched their house and arrested them on drug charges. Stephanie Wiseman and John Woodard face several drug charges, including a charge of child endangerment. A small child was found in the home. Police have since released the child to a family member.
Columbia residents will soon get a surprise in their mail, the annual Citizen Handbook. Normally, the city just had the books available around town, but this is the first time it's actually being mailed out to people. Among other things, the book includes Columbia's annual performance report to show people how tax money is being spent. City Public Communications Specialist Sarah Hum says the report helps show people in the city how it's spending their money.
So obviously people pay taxes to the city. So our main focus is we want people to know where that money is going and why they're funding the things that they're funding.
The books cost about $1 a piece, and there are around 70,000 copies going out. The theme for this year's handbook is to showcase Columbia's art scene. It's expected to arrive in people's mailboxes in the next 2 weeks.
A fully equipped dentist office on wheels made house calls in Jefferson City today. The Aspen Dental Mouthmobile provides free dental care to veterans. Aspen Dental started the Healthy Mouth movement to reach out to those who don't have resources to proper dental care. Last year, the team served about 3,000 patients.
We'll be seeing some more fall-like temperatures this weekend. Let's send it over to Tori for a peek at the forecast.
Thanks, Colby. It's a pretty nice evening for us to start off the weekend here on our Friday evening. We're continuing to see some showers and thunderstorms just off to our west, but the good news is those are going to stay put over there. We're going to continue to see these clear skies throughout the rest of our evening. And for a better portion of our weekend, the bad news is we do have some more clouds building into the area overnight Saturday and throughout a good portion of Sunday as well, so that could hinder some of our blood moon, super moon, harvest moon, whatever you want to call it, some of our viewing on Sunday night into Monday morning. This is going to begin at 7:11 on Sunday, lasting until a little bit after midnight. The best time to actually view this is going to be around 9:45 in the eastern sky, so be sure if you're up to be able to check that out on Sunday. We'll take a closer look at those clouds moving in for the weekend and our best rain chance coming up here in just a little bit.
Thanks, Tori. Thousands are dancing, grooving, and enjoying the first night of the Roots and Blues and Barbecue. The entertainment kicked off earlier today around 5:30 with artists Danielle Nicole and Tab Benoit. There has been a variety of artwork at the festival all day, including giant human puppets to accompany the vocals and string music. Everyone from adults to young children came out to enjoy the blend of tunes and art, and one young festival goer even said the visual aspect was his favorite part of the weekend.
I've been waiting all year for this event. It's always really fun. There's always tons of different art installations that are really cool. And we always at night, when there's tons of glow sticks or whatever, you can walk around and you can see so many cool things.
Buddy Guy will be taking the stage at 9:30. For a complete list of artists and times, head to the Roots and Blues and Barbecue's website, rootsandbluesandbarbecue.com. Columbia is filled with iconic features from the columns to City Hall. The Convention and Visitors Bureau put together a list of the top places for Instagram.
KOMUH Jenna Middahl reports on the places that did and did not make the list.
I think the top 10 or top few places to Instagram in Columbia.
I asked people around Columbia what they thought would be on the Columbia Convention and Visitors Bureau list of 10 places to Instagram in Columbia.
Well, definitely the pillars, right, or the columns.
Even though she's from out of town, she nailed number 1. Number 2 was a lot tougher for people.
I don't think I've ever seen City Hall.
Number 3 is trails, and number 4, festivals like Roots and Blues. Number 5 on the list is Stevens Lake Park, the home of Roots and Blues, and number 6 is Memorial Union. 7 has you looking at Columbia from a different angle.
I really like the aerial views too. I think that's really cool to get different perspectives of the town too, besides just the street view.
8 is where I found Mackenzie Sourwine with her friends, Rockbridge Memorial State Park.
I'm taking my friends that haven't been to Columbia before, and we're going to go down in the cave.
Number 9 is Shakespeare's or any other Columbia original eatery. 10 is the various art and sculptures you see downtown. The woman behind the list told me how she came up with the places to include.
I use an online tool to check out people's photos that they upload in Columbia, and so that makes it easy to see a pattern, see the photos that are uploaded again and again.
The list has given a few ideas to our out-of-town friend.
And some of the things that are on that list I'll definitely have to go check out now, so that's neat.
Jenna Middaugh, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.
Other places people thought should be on the list included Jesse Hall, the Tiger on the MU campus, and the Big Burr Oak.
The Pope is wrapping up his visit New York and heading over to Philadelphia. Find out what special gift he has waiting for him there.
Plus, John Boehner made a shocking announcement today. That's coming up.
Next Friday Night Football, too.
We need some rain.
We
It's
do.
getting
We
dry.
really do.
All right, Tori, thank you very much. Still to come, a surprise resignation in Washington, D.C.
And President Obama and his Chinese counterpart meet to discuss the two countries' frosty relationship.
Pope Francis spent his last day in New York City with a visit to an East Harlem Catholic school and a parade. The Pope's motorcade traveled through Central Park on its way to Mass at Madison Square Garden. Pope Francis rode in his traditional Pope Mobile. Parade organizers had about 80,000 tickets available to the public. Tomorrow morning, the Pope will be heading to Philadelphia. Prison inmates there built a special chair for the Pope. It's nearly 6 feet tall. It took about 4 weeks to build. The Pope will stop by the prison Sunday. About 100 prisoners will be on hand for the presentation.
After receiving Pope Francis in Washington, President Obama welcomed another powerful figure today, Chinese President Xi Jinping. The two took part in high-level meetings in the Oval Office and held a joint news conference in the Rose Garden shortly after. They said they discussed recent accusations against each other regarding cyber espionage and both condemned the hacking attacks.
China strongly opposes and combats the theft of commercial secrets and other kinds of hacking attacks.
Candid conversations between President Xi and myself about areas of disagreement help us to understand each other better.
The President and Mrs. Obama are hosting a state dinner in honor of President Xi and his wife tonight. Volkswagen announced today Porsche's brand new chief as its new CEO. Matthias Mueller's appointment comes after the departure of former CEO Martin Winterkorn and the emissions cheating scandal. Mueller says his first priority is to win back the trust of customers and investors. The company could face $18 billion in fines from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency for using software in diesel cars that avoids emissions tests.
Iran says Saudi Arabia's leaders should be accountable for the deadly stampede yesterday that killed more than 700 people. Out of those 700, at least 130 Iranians were killed. Iranian worshippers took to the streets today to protest what they call Saudi incompetence. Protesters carried banners chanting death to the rulers of Saudi Arabia. Despite the stampede, thousands of Muslim pilgrims performed the symbolic stoning of the devil today. It drew 2 million people from 180 countries. The numbers continue to grow each year. It's a huge logistical challenge for Saudi Arabia, which spends billions of dollars on safety and security each year.
A major surprise in Washington, D.C. today as John Boehner announced he will resign as Speaker of the House at the end of October. This comes after some conservative Republicans were fighting Boehner and threatening a government shutdown. Steve Handelmans is in Washington to tell us more.
My, oh my, what a wonderful day. The weight is lifted. John Boehner said he decided for sure just this morning to step down as Speaker and leave Congress by the end of October to try to unify Republicans.
This prolonged leadership turmoil
would do irreparable harm to the institution. GOP moderates are stunned.
It's anarchy to remove a speaker in the middle of his term, and that's really what happened.
Boehner is fighting another government shutdown move by Tea Partiers, this time over Planned Parenthood funding.
Just a few minutes ago, Speaker Boehner announced that he will be resigning.
Conservatives at a D.C. conference cheer.
And I think it's a great day. Finally, we can hopefully elect a speaker that actually can not only believe in, but articulate conservative principles.
Boehner looked emotional yesterday, realizing his dream of getting the Pope to Congress. He says he's satisfied to leave being seen as fair.
And trying to do the right thing every day on behalf of the country. That's, I don't need any more than that.
A possible successor is Kevin McCarthy of California. President Obama weighed in.
My hope is there's a recognition on the part of the next speaker that we can have significant differences on issues, but that doesn't mean you shut down the government.
But Congress remains divided, with John Boehner headed for the door.
According to a Wall Street Journal poll, 72% of Republican voters were dissatisfied with Boehner.
U.S. Army General Martin Dempsey is stepping down from his position after 41 years of service. He transitioned his responsibility to incoming General Joseph Dunford Jr. today. Dempsey received several medals for his service. He managed the largest division-level command in U.S. Army history. President Obama praised him for his leadership.
The Royals are taking on the Indians the day after clinching the division.
Yeah, and the Royals having sort of a post-celebration hangover. Sports is next.
And that's going to do for sports.
Cody, thank you very much. A new park in the Netherlands is a first
for Europe, and it's unique in more ways than one. You'll find out why coming up after the break. A city in the Netherlands now has Europe's first floating park. Inventor Team Handeman came up with the idea 2 years ago. He says the park will improve water quality and increase marine life. Cities are exploring the idea of floating parks as green initiatives. The city thinks the park will help cope with rising sea levels.
Coming up on KOMU 8 News at 10, we will have a live report from Roots and Blues in Columbia.
Plus, it's Friday night, and you know what that means. We'll have highlights from high school football all over mid-Missouri.
It was certainly a great night for Friday Night Fever tonight, and it's going to be a great weekend for us. We're continuing to see a few extra clouds throughout the afternoon on Saturday, and throughout a good portion of Sunday, we also have around a 10% chance for some pop-ups on Saturday afternoon. Otherwise, we're back in the 70s this weekend.
All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good night.